Hi guys, welcome to this video. It's your boy Kunle Halagan. So a lot of people have been asking us what is the opinion of K90 on what is going on in the world today. We are all aware of the war that has been going on in Ukraine, Russia invasion of Ukraine. So we have attempted to look at this, how it all started, how it all unfolded. So in this video, we will make a good analysis of how it all started. So a lot of people does not understand where this war started from, and it is not just starting today. So in this video, we have attempted to diagnose the entire history of how it all started. So we will be looking at the past, which is the history, the current state, which is the current state of play, and also we'll be looking at the future. So let's take a step back. It all started on the 24th of August 1991 when Ukraine gained her independence from Russia, the then Soviet Union. So the president at that time was Petro Poroshenko. So Petro Poroshenko was a pro-Russian president in Ukraine. A lot of people are saying that he was dubbed for the fact that he is serving the people that employed him and those that voted him in. But at some point during his reign in 2014, he signed an agreement with the European Union, which is called Ukraine-European Union Association Agreement. This agreement will eventually start the process of Ukraine being part of the European Union and the NATO. And we all know what happens from there. We all know the issue of Crimea came into play. And Crimea was annexed by Russia during that time in 2014. Russia was having so many enemies at that period, and there was chaos in Crimea. Crimea was added to the sanction list. You cannot trade from any part of the Western world with anyone doing business with Crimea. In 2019, we all know that the Poroshenko was, ousted in office. He was defeated in the second term. He did not win, and that's how we have Zelensky, the current president of Ukraine. And this current president has been trying all his possible best to move forward the agreement that Poroshenko signed with the European Union to ensure that the Ukraine joined the European Union and also that they are part of NATO. And we know that this is what Vladimir Putin feared most. Vladimir Putin wrote a letter from Russia all the way to the European Union and say, can you please ensure that you do not engage with Ukraine and do not let them join the European Union and NATO? And eventually, the European Union wrote back to Vladimir Putin and said, you have no right to tell us who to admit in our organization. We can decide and we can, progress any application that we receive. And that propelled Putin to start waging war, thinking how he can stop this going ahead within Ukraine joining the European Union. We all know that if Ukraine should join European Union and NATO, it simply means when Russia wants to fight Ukraine at that time, Russia will have to fight with NATO and European Union because they will not leave any of their allies to be fought, to be destroyed by any other nation. They have to come to, support them. And because of this, Putin quickly, swing into action. Just in February, he started announcing that, there will be war in, Ukraine, and that he's not using the term war. We need to be very careful. He was saying that he wants to stabilize things, that there's a lot of Russians in Ukraine that are being marginalized by the dictator in their president, Zelensky, which is not true, as we all know. But the fear of Putin is that if Ukraine should join NATO or join European Union, it will be difficult for Russia to gain any access to anything within Ukraine, and even ask Ukraine to do or to dance to their tune, which they've not been doing, and they've been having series of argument and fight. And also Russia knows that if Ukraine should join the European Union, clearly Ukraine can come back and say they want to claim back the Crimea that Russia has taken back from the Ukrainians in 2014. And as we all know, as at today, the world still recognizes Crimea as part of Ukraine. We know it's like an island between the Baltic Sea and the Crimea area. It's just like a small island, but it's been taken over completely by Russia. And we know that Ukraine can claim this back in the case that they gain the support of the allies when they join the NATO and the European Union. So fast forward till today, we know that it's been chaos. A bit of the current state of play in present day time. We know that the war started towards the end of February. It's now a second week now, and we know that over 1 million Ukrainians have fled the country. We understand that over 500,000 people are displaced completely, those that still remain in Ukraine, and as many people as over 100, 200, 300 people, as we know, it's not clear from the UN report, that has now died. Some are even suggesting that up to 1,000, 2,000, 3,000 civilians are dead. Clearly, we know that the Ukrainian military has lost a lot of their soldiers to this war. About 3,000 of those are now dead. We have seen so many explosions during this period, and we all know that a lot has been happening in terms of Russia itself being faced by the West and the world. We know that there has been so many sanctions. To put this into perspective, there has been 22 Russian oligarchs that has been sanctioned by the powers to be in the world. We're talking of the Western world, we're talking of the Europeans, the Americans, the Asians, collectively together. This is the largest number of sanctions that has been imposed on any country in this century. We know that 22 oligarchs of Russian billionaires that were sanctioned, they lost at some point $39 billion in one day. We know that Russian rubles as well has crashed to as little as $1 in dollar. This is shocking. Russian economy is going through a difficult time at the moment. People in Russia are struggling to get money out from the cash point. They go to the cash machine, they can't get access to their funds. And the part of those oligarchs that we're talking about, a gentleman called Mikhail Watford, one of those oligarchs from Russia, we understand he died just a few days ago. We don't know the cause of his death. Some people are saying he committed suicide because he has lost billions of dollars as a result of the war in Ukraine. So a lot is happening from here. And we all know as well that for myself, I'm a supporter of Chelsea Football Club, just by the way. And we know that Roman Abramovich, the owner of Chelsea, is significantly impacted by this as well. A lot of speculation that is so close to, the Vladimir Putin, that he needs to be sanctioned in the UK. It's been discussed in the House of Parliament every day. And if you have not seen some of those videos I shot whilst at Stamford Bridge, you may want to have a look. It's been uploaded, and probably I'll put the link in the link section below at the bottom of this. Watch the visit of K90 channel to Stamford Bridge. We're present at Chelsea's manager's press conference, Thomas Tuchel, and we're still working through licenses at the moment. We cannot show that part to anyone, but we've got it. Okay, we've been warned we can't show it to anyone. But there was a tour after that press conference, and that tour was, published, shot a lot of videos around that, and that video is on our YouTube channel. Now you may want to have a look. So add to the story of the Russian oligarchs. It's really sad. Now Abramovich has said he will be putting Chelsea for sale. Initially, he said he's handing over to the charity foundation that they will be taking charge of the affairs of the football club, the fans and the players and all that. But eventually, he announced that he's now selling, and he's also selling about 110 million pounds worth of property in central London. I understand he says selling his yacht as well. I mean, almost all countries of the world have banned all of these oligarchs because they are struggling to Putin. They've been shown together several times sitting on the table. This is not going down well in the world. So who is Vladimir Putin? A lot of people need to know this. Vladimir Putin is a Russian that was born in Petersburg on the 7th of October 1952. He will be 70 years old just on the 7th of October this 2022, and he's currently 69 years old. He is the one that the world is looking at. He's causing what they call a chaos globally. Everyone's trying to speak to him, trying to say, you need to stop this war. He did order the Russian soldiers to hit the Ukrainian country. They've invaded Ukraine, and we know this is going on globally. So in terms of Vladimir Putin himself, he was born in 1952 on the 7th of October, as I said, to an average family. The dad was involved in the World War II. The mom was a cook somewhere, and he was born in St. Petersburg in Russia city. And then he grew up. He joined what we know as KGB. He served in KGB. When you hear KGB in Russia, think of CIA. They had mixed to CIA. They have, CIA of America, Central Intelligence Agency, where they have so many information that they use at the global level to secure their country, their central security for their country. So KGB, he served in there for 16 years, and eventually in 1999 he became their head. And then before he now resigned as the head of the KGB in Russia, and that was when he contested to become the prime minister in Russia. So a bit of step back, we all know that the former president of Russia was called Boris Yeltsin. So Boris Yeltsin, stepped aside just around that 2009, and then eventually the next person to that position of presidency was Vladimir Putin, who was the prime minister at that time. He came into the office less than 4 months later. He contested for an election, and eventually he won, and he's been serving since 2000 and all the way to 2008. So it should be 4 years tenure in Russia. So you serve 4 years and then you recontest again for the second term, just the way it is in Nigeria and other part of the world as well. And you recontest again. He won again in 2004, and then all the way to 2008 he was still the president of Russia before he had to step down because he has completed his 2 tenure. He stepped down for Dmitry Medvedev. That was another president that came in 2008 all the way to 2012 for 4 years before Vladimir Putin came again to power in 2012. And since then, Vladimir Putin has been in power since 2012. Ideally, he should have stepped aside 8 years later, which is 2019. But towards the end of that time, he changed that constitution. He should have stepped aside towards the end of 2019, which is 2020. He later changed that constitution around that period. Currently, what he has changed the constitution to will simply enable him to rule Russia all the way till 2036. Yes, I said it. The way Russia is going now, if it continues like that, it will rule Russia all the way to 2036. That is what the Constitution allows. And we know that what he fears most is Ukraine joining NATO and having European backup. So if he's fighting, in Ukraine, the NATO allies will have to rescue Ukraine, and there will have to be, war against Russia. Now, where are we with this war? We know that there's been so many other things that are backing this war. A lot of people don't know about Nord Stream. Nord Stream is the gas pipeline that connects Russia to Germany. Do you know that 90% of gas that is in Europe is being supplied by Russia? Shocking, right? Gazprom's the sponsor of our UEFA Champions League. They are the largest gas producing company in the world. They are a Russian-based company. This is shocking, right? Nord Stream gas pipeline runs through from Russia all the way to Germany, and it goes through Ukraine's water, Belarus and some other countries' water all the way to, Germany. That is Nord Stream 1. And for every cubic meters of gas that is being pumped from Nord Stream 1 pipeline from Russia all the way to Germany, there are certain, cut of percentage in terms of VAT, tax that needs to be paid to the Ukrainians and to the Belarus, all those countries that the pipe goes through water or through their land all the way to Germany. So Gazprom has been paying significantly to these countries. But suddenly Russia came up and said, actually, they will be building what is known as Nord Stream 2, another gas pipeline, diverting this new pipeline all the way to Baltic Sea. Baltic Sea is sea from Russia to some other European countries. Rather than going through where Nord Stream 1 took, which is, Ukraine and Belarus and some other countries like that, this is now going through no country at all, going under the water, Baltic Sea. And this costs Russia $10 billion. This was completed just in December 2021. That has just gone by. And it's on the verge of being launched. And just when this was started, we understand the German President Olaf has announced that this will now be put on hold. This gas pipeline will not be launched or will not be up and running for now anymore, especially with the invasion of Ukraine. And we know what that means. We are talking of Russia being, supplying the gas to Europe. 90% of gas that is being used. In fact, Ukraine chose not to buy from Russia. Ukraine will literally go to Europe to buy, where Germany is also supplying as well, just to avoid Russia. However, it's Russia that supplies all those European countries, which is through Germany. We have Ukraine that is now buying from Europe. It's gas. And at the moment, we have about 49% of gas that is, supplied from Russia, but to Germany, that is the Germans are using, that they rely heavily on Russia. So it's about 49%. As at 2021, we understand that UK has relied on gas from Russia, around 4% of those. It was in 2020, it was just 3%, but in 2021, it went up a little bit to 4%. So clearly, it is high time that Europe stop depending on Russia gas, because this is not going to go down well. We all know that the world is in a chaotic state at the moment. As a result of the Russian gas, do you know that there is, gas scarcity? There is increase in energy bills in the UK, in other part of Europe already. Everyone's feeling the heat already. So where there is less dependency, you don't allow individual organization or country to monopolize the power, and you can reduce the risk and make the field more competitive. When this kind of situation arises, someone making the entire European country to be stranded in terms of gas, that will not come into play. So hopefully this will serve as a massive lesson learned for us in Europe and also the West as well, including those in America. As a result of the chaos that the Nord Stream 2 has brought, this is one of the key things that Nord Stream 2, because the Nord Stream pipe has now gone through the Baltic Sea all the way to Germany from Russia. And we know that at the moment, the Nord Stream 1 was producing about 55 billion cubic meters of gas, but the Nord Stream 2 will be producing 110 billion cubic meters of gas, and this is definitely something that will be pumping the entire Europe and possibly part of the world and all of that. So we need to ensure that we reduce the dependency on the Russian gas, and we ensure that we shift attention to other energy companies that can supply gas to other parts of Europe. So where is the future? What is going on at the moment? At the moment, it does not seem that the war is slowing down, because we know that at this point, the Russian soldiers, we know that Putin has asked them to be on high alert for nuclear weapon, which is one of those key things that Liz Truss, Foreign Secretary of the UK, was blamed for as a result of her comment that she made mention of a number of things about Putin, and eventually Putin said, okay, we need to put all of our senior military officers, called them in a room and told them that we need to put our nuclear weapon on high alert, meaning it could be needed anytime. This is not good at all. I mean, nuclear weapon, you know what that means. Clearly, if it lands in anywhere, the grass or any part of that place will never grow in 50 years, minimum of 50 years. You can't farm in that land again. Everyone there will die, and this week is not good at all. I mean, that leads me to my next point. where a number of questions were asked to Jeff Bezos and the SpaceX man, Elon Musk, who is, responsible for electric cars. As we know, Jeff Bezos is Amazon, Elon Musk is electric cars. They've been spending so much billions of dollars in, exploration to space, building space jets and all sort of. And recently, we all know that Jeff Bezos visited space as well. They were both once asked, why are you creating another planet in space? And their responses separately was that they believe human will destroy the Earth at some point, and that is why they decided to quickly create another planet to quickly see how they can be traveling to space easily. And they've created this. I think it cost around £250,000 to take a flight from the Earth to the space, and the billionaires of the world are already, taking up that opportunity, visiting that. So where are we today in terms of the war? We know that the Russian troops are still advancing. 40 miles long of motorcade, the Russian armor tanks are on their way at the moment to Ukraine. They do not want to give up at all. They don't see this as ending anytime soon. They've started this. We understand they are 17 miles away. But imagine a convoy of army artillery about 40 miles long on their way to Ukraine. Are you going to demolish the entire Ukraine as a country? So we understand that the plan of Putin is that once he is able to capture Ukraine, he's planning to capture Kiev, planning to capture President Zelensky, Ukrainian president, and the next step will be, install pro-Russian puppet. That is the right word for it. Pro-Russian puppet president. Someone that can dance to his tone. Someone that he can call anytime and say, you have to get this done, and he will listen. And then from there, start changing things and moving things around. We understand this is what Putin is trying to achieve. But look at the pictures, all the people that have been killed. Do you think this is the right way to go about this? A lot of people are saying a war crime against humanity, investigation needs to be opened against Putin now. This is killing innocent civilians, women and children, people being displaced. This is really, really sad. But it doesn't look like the war will be ending soon. As we know, if it ends, if Putin should stop. Clearly, Putin has lost because he has not achieved the purpose of it. And all the sanctions, barrage of sanctions, strengths of sanctions from the world, from the West, has hit his country and will continue to hit his country for a very long time. The damage has been done. For him to now stop is another thing entirely. Some people are saying that Pope should speak to him if he will stop this, and hopefully he can listen to Pope. But it doesn't seem like Putin is willing to listen to anybody at the moment. We are talking about the next step from here. Look at those people that has been displaced. What is going on their mind? What do you think is happening? Talk about the people displaced themselves. We know that there are so many Africans that are in Ukraine. Over 5,000 of those that are leaving Ukraine that are Nigerians. A lot of all other African countries have left. They've been moving to different borders, and that leads us to our next point. If you are in any part of this country, in Ukraine, you need to move towards the Polish border. Poland has accepted over 500,000 migrants, including women and children, Africans, and everyone, from Ukraine. You need to seize this opportunity. You can see the key contacts that you need to contact for all these countries. We are flipping that through the screen now. We need to let everyone be aware. Guys, please share this video. Let everyone that we have in Ukraine or Poland or any part of the neighboring country to Ukraine, let them know that there are helps in some places. Key contact to contact. There are people that are willing to help. Nigerian government has approved about $8.5 million in Buhari approving this, that we should help Nigerians that are in Ukraine. Unfortunately, I received another news this morning that those Nigerians, when they got to when Nigerian government took the flight to Ukraine to help Nigerians, or possibly the border, Polish border, Romania, and all sort of, we understand that many Nigerians said they don't want to go to Nigeria. They should either take them to another country. That is shocking. You need to flee the war and be safety first. Talk about being displaced. We saw a shocking video of a lady. This is really sad. Interviewed by BBC. She's a Nigerian lady she was told at the Ukrainian border that she wants to leave the country, that she cannot. You can see the video flashing and that she cannot. It's only Ukrainians that they are willing to help, to absorb, to help to get into Poland, and not Africans. That the fact that you are black, you are being discriminated against at the point of death, where people are fleeing Ukraine. This is sad. This is really bad. We also saw the Polish, one of the Polish minister or prime minister, I think I'm not sure his position actually, what he said about Christian and Muslim. He literally said they will not be accommodating Muslims to Poland. Listen to him in this video.
How many refugees has Poland taken?
0.
But I asked...
At this period, maybe you create a place for them, help them to stay there, settle there, move them on at another time, not shutting the border on them and saying they will never come in. At the end of the day, there will be visitors that are coming into Poland in future that are saying they want a visitor's visa. They can come in and if they want to do anything like bomb your country or do anything, they can. It's not just people that are living in the country that are dangerous, but also the foreigners can be dangerous as well when they visit. But this is not what we want to see. We want to open the door, and we want to say at that point many thanks to all those that has been helping the people that are displaced in these regions. It's really sad. There's been so many help. People are still sending help, and there are so many people that are even volunteering to go and fight in Ukraine itself. We saw the video of some British nationals volunteering at the Ukrainian embassy in London, saying they want to go and fight for the Legion of Ukraine. That's their soldier over there. So hopefully this video has helped you guys to understand a lot more about the genesis of the crime against humanity that is being committed currently, according to a lot of people saying that Putin is committing crime against humanity, and the war that is ongoing in Ukraine. Hopefully this has helped you guys and your understanding as well. Feel free to share this video with your loved ones. So moving on to Nigeria. So as we know that the world is ravaged by the war that is ongoing in Ukraine, we know that Nigerians are preparing for 2023 presidential election. There's been a lot of stuff that are coming up since we last shot our video. There's been so many people that are declaring their interest. The latest of them is Atiku Abubakar. Listen to him in this video.
I recognize your immense influence in our great party, and my respect for you is beyond measure. That's why I chose you to be among the first set of people that I will be meeting to personally declare my intention to contest for the president of Nigeria in the 2023 elections.
So he wants to be the president. A lot of people are saying the youth should take over the position. Also, we understand that Osinbajo is also considering as well. You can see his picture up there. We understand that Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the former governor of Lagos State, has been throwing his hat in the ring and said he wants to be the president. But so many people are saying he is frail, that he's not fit to be the president of Nigeria. He's been speaking in so many videos and his hands shaking. Some people are saying he's got all sort of diseases and not feeling healthy, and he should go and rest somewhere. He probably is over 80. He lied about his age and things like that. As much as we can criticize all of those that are oldies, that as we call them, the young ones should come up as well. Aspire to be. Come up, throw your hat in the ring. You can't keep criticizing on the social media and sitting at home and do nothing. Get involved in the politics and challenge the old people and see if you can win. But also make sure that you have a good antecedent as well. It is very, very important. We wish Nigeria the very best in the 2023 presidential election. So moving on to other news in Africa. So those are other news that are trending in Africa. about soldiers. I mean, I'm not sure where that soldier came from. Maybe that's an African soldier. I'm not sure who slipped. That's so funny. Anyway, moving on to money transfer update for this week. So as you can see on this slide, we have 2 money transfer updates to report on for this week. In terms of transfer for this week, their pound to naira is 738 naira to 1 pound. Transfer wise, we've got their dollar as 388, their pound is 513, and their euro is 423 naira to 1 euro. Those are the 2 money transfer companies that we currently report. As we have always said, the Central Bank of Nigeria has halted the transfer of currencies to Nigeria from any part of the world, dollar, pounds, or euro, to naira, and they said it has to be in dollar to Nigeria. But these are the 2 companies that are using those transfer in terms of naira, converting those at the moment. That's why we are only bringing you 2. So feel free to share this video with your loved ones. I appreciate this video is a long one. Hopefully it has helped. If you are yet to subscribe to K90 channel on YouTube, please kindly do so. Also, please don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Thank you so much for watching this video, and bye for now.